today's video is going to be a reading vlog. I got this idea from Steph Loves. She let a wheel decide how many hours a day she's reading for. I think this will be a fun little challenge that isn't too much of a commitment that I'm gonna go crazy. I'm pretty much just copying the exact same thing she did. I did exactly what she did, and I put 1 to 6 hours on here twice and then did a shuffle so it's not completely in order, just to give it multiple chances. I have to do work and school pretty much every day, so reading for more than 6 hours is not gonna happen. So it's Monday, so let's see what I'll be reading, how long I'll be reading for today. One hour. Okay, that's crazy. I was okay. It looked like it was gonna land on 4, and I was okay with that, but I got 1 hour. I have a bunch of audiobooks from the library that I need to read. All my holds came in at once, as they usually do, so I'll probably spend my 1 hour listening to, I think I'm listening to Glow by Penn Cole. It's the 3rd book in the Kindred Curse. Yeah, the number 3 in the Kindred's Curse series, which I thought I was gonna be waiting for months for that hold from the library because that's what it said, but they obviously got a bunch of more copies, and so now I'm just gonna have to wait. The next book doesn't come out till next July, like 2026 July. I thought I'd be reading it a little bit closer to when that book came out, but oh well. I'll be caught up with a series, which is good. So that's gonna be my first focus, I think. Honestly, it's probably good that I only got an hour today because I did procrastinate my school stuff this morning, and now I have to go to work, so I can get my school stuff done after work today instead of reading. So I don't have the book physically what I'll be reading, but there is a picture of it. So we'll get into it, and I still have like 14 hours of that book, so hopefully that doesn't take me this whole week to read. I'm okay with getting a few days of a lot of hours, but I guess Monday's gonna be easy. I can catch up on some podcasts as well, because I'm going to be listening to the audiobook while I'm at work. For the rest of my shift, I'll just listen to podcasts, I guess. It's kind of hard to give you my progress because I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what percentage I was at when I started, and then I tried to time myself for an hour, but I kept pausing it because people would ask me questions or I'd be talking to someone or blah blah blah. So I think I probably read for maybe an hour and a half by accident, but that's okay. And it's hard because my thing's at 2.75 speed and Libby does not do the math for you. I want to spin and see what I get for tomorrow so I can be prepared mentally. So let's see what I get for Tuesday. Hopefully enough to finish that book. One again. I swear I'm not cheating. I wanted actually more than that. Well, I guess I'm reading for an hour again tomorrow. Is it gonna be 6s for the rest of the challenge? Is it gonna be really mean? Or is it just gonna be super nice and it not really be a challenge at all? I don't know, but I wanted to finish that book tomorrow. I probably have like 4 hours left of that book. I could be wrong, but... So I read for my hour today. I think I read over again. I think I read like 100 for, not 100. I think I read for like an hour and 20-ish minutes. I started right when I got to work because I knew I'd be less likely to get distracted then and turning it on and off and not knowing what time I started. But then all of a sudden it had been like an hour and 20 minutes. I don't think I listened straight through that, but pretty close, so sorry I technically read over. But I also realized I never talked to you about what this book is about. It's the 3rd book in a series, so I can't really tell you all that much, But in this series, we follow DM, who is a healer. The Descended rule kind of this world. They have their kings and queens and rulers in that realm, but the Descendeds are obviously a lot more powerful than the mortals. DM is living the life of a mortal as a healer, trying to kind of basically just survive. Mortals don't really live a great life in this world. Her mom disappears. She was also a healer, but her mom disappears after she last saw her talking to a Descended. So she's kind of worried about what happened to her and thinks it has to do with them. There is a civil war that is brewing, and this mortal rebel group she's kind of getting interested in and has connections to. So we see her maybe becoming a part of that in the first book, along with starting to make connections with Descendants, including the heir for her. So that's kind of the synopsis of the first book. We're on the third book. It's gone way farther than that, but it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's really picked up. That's why I didn't really notice what time it was with listening to it today. And I'm hoping I can finish it tomorrow because I want to finish it. I would have finished it probably today if I could have, if I wasn't doing this challenge, but it is a long book, so there was a chunk of time there where nothing was happening, but I'm enjoying it. While we're on here, I guess we might as well do my pick for tomorrow. Let's see. This is not very aesthetic, but let's see what I get. Why isn't it? I can't tell where it is. 4. Okay, I thought it was on the other side, and I thought it was another hour. I would have respun, because that's not fun. 4 hours is actually perfect. I will finish that book tomorrow, for sure. I think I have, like, less than 2 hours left. Again, Libby's so annoying. I can't do the calculations. I guess I could look it up. I think I have less than 2 hours left of that one, and then I will pick up my next book, which is going to be Silver Elite by, I can't remember the author right now, because I have that audiobook from the library as well, and I need to read it before they want it back. So you'll start reading that tomorrow. Okay, hello guys. So don't mind this big pimple that I keep accidentally scratching and I'm making it worse. But it is the next day and I've finished my reading for today already. I was gonna leave a little bit of time so I could physically read. I ended up getting really into the one book that I was reading. So I read for the full 4 hours. I finished Heat of the Everflame. This one I have conflicting feelings on. I think it was just far too long. Far too long. When I'm looking back and thinking about everything that happened, it could have been 2 books. Or a long book, but just cut out a good chunk of stuff, because a lot happened, but also not a lot happened, if that makes sense. There was big chunks where nothing felt like it was happening, or things were just drawing out for so long. The pacing to be a little bit different. So I gave this one 3 stars. The other 2 I think I've given 4 stars. This is probably, I don't know, it's a 3 or 3.5. I really like the characters in this one, and we get to see some of the ones that I really like more in this one, at least in the first half, and then the second half it's really mostly DM, I guess, and her love interest. It is a slow burn for sure. Like, things happen, but and the ending of this book was very cliffhanger-y. Actually, the last, 5 minutes of the book, sad. Or there's something that happens very sad, but also very cliffhanger-y for the last little while. So, we will find out. I'm glad I caught up. That's a good feeling, and I'll probably forget everything that happened by the time the book comes out. The 4th, I think, maybe final book comes out. I don't actually know how many books are supposed to be in this series, but I want to say that's the last one. So I gave that one 3 stars. Then I started Silver Elite, like I mentioned I was going to. I'm 30% in. It's so good. This has had so many good reviews, especially I saw a lot of people reading arcs. And so that got it on my radar, and it's so good so far. We are following Ren, who is a modified. I think something basically got into the water, and so some people got these abilities that became illegal, and basically they're hunted down because of these abilities. So she has psychic abilities, and more than the average psychic does. And something happens that brings her to the attention of the leaders of this continent, I think. Some of her enemies, basically. And that gets her into this training program called Silver Block, where they're training them to be the best of the best, but no one can know that she's a modified person. So she's hiding that and trying to get out of this training because of what happened. I don't want to say because it's very early on in the book, but it's a spoiler, so don't want to tell you. But because of what happened, it gets her on the radar, and then she has to go to this training program. And so she's trying to get out of it because she doesn't want to, and she doesn't want anyone to find out of her powers. There's also, I think, a romance brewing between her and this lieutenant or Captain Cross. I can't remember it. He's probably a captain. Very powerful on his side of the camp. I'm really enjoying this. I'm exactly 30% through. So I don't work tomorrow because I have appointments to go to, but I'm going to spin my wheel and see how much reading I can do tomorrow. And since I'm not at work, in theory, I would physically read. But I do have to drive, so I could also do my audiobook. So I'm hoping to get some more progress in that book. And then we'll see. We'll see what I get. 4 hours was a great amount of time, actually. So we'll see what I get. Oh. Okay. Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow's the day of 6 hours, which is good and bad because I have the appointments. So I have to do probably like 2 hours of driving tomorrow, but it's a doctor's appointment, and I know I'm just nervous for that. So don't know how much I'm gonna want to listen to the audiobook, like if I'm gonna be able to pay attention to it. So we'll see. But 6 hours, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in 6 hours of physically reading, so I'm gonna have to listen to at least some. We'll see how I approach this. Maybe I'll do half and half physical, half audiobook or something. But I'm glad I know going into the day that I have 6 hours that I need to do. Okay guys, I have failed today's reading so far. I still have literally 3 hours. Today just ended up being busier than expected with my doctor's appointment, and then I had to go get my blood drawn. And I didn't want to listen to my audiobook on the way to the doctor appointment because I was so nervous. So I didn't think it would be fair to the book, and especially because I'm enjoying the book so much. So I didn't listen to it on the way there, but I did on the way home. And when I got home for a bit, and then when I came home I had to do school and all that, I probably could have maybe got an extra hour in there. But I definitely did a lot of procrastinating for that hour. But I may still get like half an hour more in for the day. But I'm not sure. Since I didn't get it done, I'm gonna push it into tomorrow. So we now need to find out how much reading I have to do tomorrow. Hopefully I don't get another 6-hour day now that I had such a fail, because that'll be 9 hours if I don't read anything else today. But let's give myself some warning of what I'm getting into for tomorrow. Oh. Okay. It's 4. It could be a lot worse. Right now, if I don't read anything else, tomorrow I will have to read for 7 hours, which I can get a really big chunk of that done at work tomorrow, listening to audiobooks. So I'm not too concerned. I don't want to jinx it. But I should let you know I've gotten to 70% of Silver Elite. That's so good. It is an elite book. I am loving it. I'm loving the romance. The world is really good. I like the characters. It's so good. I know I said yesterday that the hype was real, but I'm extra feeling it, and I'm really interested to see what happens in the last 30%. I know, because in some of the reviews people are like, the ending is crazy and how long do we have to wait? I'm scared for that, but I will finish that tomorrow for sure. Okay, hello guys. It is Friday. I have read for 4 hours and 40 minutes of my 7 hours, I believe. My timer has 2 hours and 22 minutes left on it. I finished Silver Elite, so let's talk about that one, because that one was super fun. I loved that book. The hype is for sure for real. I don't know what people are comparing it to. The training aspect of it and that kind of part is very Fourth Wing like, but there's no dragons or anything like that. It's kind of a dystopian kind of book of our world set in the future after some catastrophes. It was super fast-paced. I really enjoyed it. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say that, but I thought it was a quick read. I'm really excited for the rest of the series, so I definitely will be continuing on with it whenever that happens, and I don't know how many books it will be. Very ending was a bit of a cliffhanger, so that was kind of crazy. Just like a fun new adult age romantasy that I would definitely recommend. Since I finished Silver Elite, I've been listening to Great Beautiful World by Emily Henry, her newest release, which is about 2 authors. One that's pretty famous, has like a really like best-selling novel, and one that's a little less known, are kind of competing to tell this story of this infamous lady. I already forget what her name was, and her family. She's kind of gone into hiding, and they find her and are fighting for the spot to write her story. I don't know how far I'm in, probably 30% of the way through. Let's see how far I can get into it with just my 2.5-ish hours left, but I will finish it in this vlog for sure. I believe the last time I talked to you guys, I had 2.5 hours-ish left on my timer. I finished that, but I still had like half an hour, 45 minutes left on my audiobook for Great Beautiful World. So I just went ahead and finished it so I could talk about it. Great Big Beautiful Life, that's what it is. So I tried to give you somewhat of a description, but let's read what the actual synopsis is here. 2 writers compete for the chance to tell the larger-than-life story of a woman with more than a couple of plot twists up her sleeve. Alice Scott is an eternal optimist, still dreaming of her big writing break. Hayden Anderson is a Pulitzer Prize-winning human thundercloud. They're both on Little Crescent Island for the same reason, to write the biography of a woman no one has seen in years, or at least to meet with the octogenarian who claims to be the Margaret Ives. Tragic heiress, former tabloid princess, and daughter of one of the most storied and and scandalous families in the 20th century. When Margaret invites them both for a 1-month trial period, after which she'll choose the person who will tell her story, there are 3 things keeping Alice's head in the game. She genuinely likes people, which means people usually like Alice. She's ready for this job and the chance to impress her always unimpressed family with a serious publication. And Hayden Anderson, who should have no reason to be concerned about losing this book, sees her as competition. But the problem is Margaret is only giving each of them pieces of her stories, pieces they can't swap, to put together because of an ironclad NDA and an inconvenient yearning pulsing between them every time they're in the same room. And it's become abundantly clear that their story, just like the tale Margaret's spinning, could be a mystery, tragedy, or a love ballad, depending on who's telling it. This book wanted to be like The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, in my opinion, with another subplot of a romance on top of it, and no one's gonna be Evelyn Hugo. That book is so deeply in my heart. I love that book so much. And so I couldn't help but compare it, because it definitely felt like it wanted to be that with this romance between Hayden and Alice on top of it. And that romance was crazy insta love. Insane insta love. They truly barely knew each other and then they were in love. So I'm really disappointed, because I loved her last 2 releases, Emily Henry's last 2 releases. Happy Place and Funny Story. Those are 2 of my favorite books now. And when people were saying they didn't like this one, I thought that I would like it, because a lot of people didn't like the last 2, so I thought maybe I had different taste in Emily Henry books than like the popular opinion, but this one was okay. I did like the story of Margaret, and I was enjoying that. Other than me comparing it to Evelyn Hugo, I liked the idea and parts of it was really interesting, but the romance really fell flat for me, and the insta love stuff was just bleh. I hated that. I didn't really like that part. So this is probably like a 3.5 for me. Definitely wasn't a hit for me. So that's the last book I read in this. I think this video might be extremely boring. I feel like I barely filmed for it, so I feel like it's gonna be really boring. So hopefully you guys see this video when it's not super boring. But I'm gonna try and do this again and make it maybe a little bit more interesting. I don't know, it felt like this week went by really fast, and maybe that's because the 2 days I got 1 hour, so it wasn't as much of a challenge that day. I don't know. Hopefully this video is not boring. Hopefully you enjoy it. And if you did, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, because I'm interested. I've seen the mixed reviews of Emily Henry and the great reviews of Silver Elite. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have like a spin on this video that you think maybe I should do, let me know as well. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!